Let me tell you what the practical results of the key principles today are. And again, this was not just a laundry list of things that Myspace agreed they would do. This was a set of working principles that will underlie going forward. As, again, trends change or technology changes, the principles should remain the same so that we have a good base on which to work with them as we see different or additional problems cropping up to try and solve them. News Corp and Myspace acknowledge that development of online identity verification is a critical element in making a child's online experience safer. This has been a key issue for the attorneys general. It is one that Myspace to date still says there are technical difficulties, but we are very encouraged that they've agreed as a result of this agreement today to create a committee to deal with the technical issue of online age and identity verification. Secondly, News Corp and Myspace agree and have committed the resources to find solutions with that technical task force, and they agree that all reasonable efforts will be made to develop identity authentication techniques. Some of the important changes as a result of this agreement are that there will be age locking so that users cannot change their ages above and below the 18-year-old threshold. That is, once they've logged on as someone in a particular age, they're not going to be able to change their identities. This will allow users to restrict friend requests to only those persons who know the user's last name or email address, and making this functionally mandatory for those under 16. It's an important tool for parents and it's an important tool for kids, particularly in light of the stranger danger issue on the internet. Some of the changes also allow those under 18 to block those who are over 18 from contacting them or viewing their profiles. It allows them to assign private profiles to users under 16. It prohibits over 18 users from browsing for under 18 users. It means that once identified sex offenders are on the site, they will immediately be removed, and it prohibits under 18 users from entering or viewing groups that are inappropriate for them, such as romance and relationships formed in groups. Some of these have been agreed to in principle in the past, but getting Myspace to put this down as part of the agreement that these were inappropriate, and also dedicating the technology side to make sure that this doesn't happen, or if it does, that it's immediately corrected, is a huge advance, I think. They've also committed to making other additional design sites, and I have to stress that it has been Massachusetts, in particular under the leadership of Assistant Attorney General Scott Schaefer, that we have been committed to pushing on these design changes and to not take no for an answer when Myspace has said, well, we can't do this or we can't do that. There has been a long history with Myspace. We've gotten some agreements from them before, and then they've sort of indicated that technology was difficult. One of the things Scott and staff here were able to do is once Myspace promised to do something, we would track it and make sure they were in fact making those technological changes that they said they would, or if not, calling them accountable for failing to make them. News Corp and Myspace have developed safety tools in response to the concerns voiced by the attorneys general that will help parents making their child's online experiences safer. They're providing safety tips to parents. They have a parent care hotline. And again, I'm going to stress that we expect and hope that parents will become real partners in this, that it is important, it is probably most important, that parents understand what their kids are doing online, who they're meeting, who they're visiting with. The days are gone when a parent could feel that his or her child was safe because he was upstairs in his bedroom on the computer and not out after dark. In fact, we recognize and realize that there are many and other problems with internet safety that parents need to be aware of, both so they understand what they are and they can educate their own kids about where they should make sure they keep safe. We believe that this is important work today. We do think that it is just the beginning in some ways. I think that this model, however, of virtually all of the attorneys general in the country agreeing with an industry to adopt these principles and to work collaboratively going forward, I think is unusual, as I said earlier, but also I think a good thing. And I hope that it is a way that we can continue to monitor what occurs, that we can get input from parents, and that we can work with the industry to make sure kids stay safe. It's an illustration of where every once in a while trying to get results and trying to keep kids safe when everybody agrees what the goal is doesn't have to be adversarial. I am frankly proud to be part of the executive committee's work in the Attorneys General. As I said, my colleagues and staff across the country, including Scott, have put hours and hours and weeks and years of work into this, and so we are pleased to be able to announce this today. We hope that communities, teachers, parents will look at these principles and take it upon themselves to become educated and to keep in touch with us and district attorneys and police if there are problems. One thing I will note is that we still will bring criminal charges against those who break the rules or who illegally solicit or contact children or engage in sexual assaults as a result of the internet. We have not lost our commitment to do that, but this, I think, is an additional tool to help us identify those perpetrators and to keep kids safe online. As I said, it's a start, but I think it's a good start. Thank you.